My name is Kate, and I am joining you today from Scotland. I'm sharing findings from an interdisciplinary study focusing on the spiritual experience of landscapes. The natural environment has benefits for human health and well-being. Government agencies and other organizations want to integrate these benefits into land management decisions. The Ecosystem Services Framework is being used to address this challenge. However, the cultural ecosystem services, and in particular the spiritual aspect, is less well developed. This study specifically focuses on landscapes and spiritual experiences as a way to explore linkages between nature, spiritual experience, and spiritual well-being. We have developed a conceptual model for this relationship. This study focused on the shaded box, considering nature, person characteristics, three mediators, which are mental restoration, positive emotions, and spiritual experiences, and the outcome of spiritual well-being. We conducted a cross-sectional study in Scotland, embedding a mapping activity into an online survey with open and closed questions concerning the place and the experience. Participants were asked to think about a place in Scotland where they had had a spiritual, not necessarily religious, experience. I'm focusing today on the closed-ended questions. The sample was stratified across the 32 local authorities in Scotland with a mix of ages and gender. 60% considered themselves neither spiritual nor religious. Here, we have spatially mapped and broadly categorized the places where these spiritual experiences occurred. Just over half are occurring in rural countryside and island-type landscapes. About a quarter are in built urban landscapes. Very few are occurring in what one might consider conventional spiritual places, such as churchyards or standing stones. Our data also suggests that many of these places are familiar. Over a third of our participants stated that they visited this place frequently. We then asked participants to indicate what landscape features they felt contributed to this experience. The most frequently selected features include views and open space, titled here as Prospect and Refuge, in reference to Appleton's theory of landscape aesthetics. The second most frequently selected features include water and remoteness. The third cluster are features that have a human influence and were less frequently mentioned. I want to look now at the mediators and the outcome. We incorporated an a priori proposed set of statements to measure the concepts highlighted here under each of our three mediators and our outcome. Participants indicated the extent to which these statements described their experience. We ran separate factor analyses to assess fit and derive measures. Results of our analysis for the mediators demonstrate good model fit and identify a reasonable set of metrics. We have one for mental restoration, titled Reflection. We have one for positive emotions, titled Joy. And we have two for spiritual experience, a factor that is about wonder, and a single item about humility. Results for the spiritual well-being items broadly fit our conceptualization in terms of four relational domains. A single item for relationship with oneself, a factor about relationship with other people, a factor about one's relationship with the environment, and a single item about the relationship with something larger than yourself. From these two analyses, we have derived a measure of spiritual well-being in nature that is grounded in the literature and includes both mediators and outcomes. Our findings suggest local places matter for spiritual experience, and these experiences occur in many different places, not only those explicitly considered spiritual. Our new scale can shape research into the spiritual dimension of the human-nature connection, and findings will inform the development of spatially explicit maps for management of rural and urban places, particularly for the spiritual dimension. Thank you.